All right. In lieu of Charlie Zero not being here today, I figured I could stretch out a bit. I don't like to do the same thing the other guys are doing if I can avoid it, just so you get maximum variety, right? And so this is fine episode 652. So I want to get a little weird today here. Let's see. These are all unusual acts. All right, put up the torture device. There it is. Turn on the sound. Nice. Ooh, that thing is so touchy. Can't rush it. There you go. Okay, now we got sound. All right, so I'll start off with probably well, these are all weird. But I believe the name of this recording group, if you can call it that, No One Is Here. And if you look carefully, you can see that track one is on there twice. A 341 version and a 248 version. That's what I can decipher from what appears to be Braille, real Braille. So I'll play a bit of the shorter version of that first track. Let's see what that sounds like. Here it goes. That's a minute. It felt like a long minute, actually. It's so strange. Fast music, and conversely, it just seems to go slow. What I'm not sure about is if that's original music.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's what happens in vaporwave. Sometimes people will get lazy.
uh,
So I don't know if that is. I mean, I only bring it up because the next one I'm going to share with you is definitely a lazy person, and I'll be able to prove it. So that is No One Is Here. Okay. And so this other one, and No One Is Here, I'm not sure where that's from, but I didn't look it up, but I'm sure that this one is really from Japan. It's called Dream Research Center, and you get the whole catalog for $1. So that's why I have so many
oh,
of them. I have, but what's weird is each of them is 26 minutes long exactly. And I got the translations for this because it was in Japanese. That's why I know they're called Dream Research Center. And the covers do kind of fit the themes of the songs. But the crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure these are just extended versions of someone else's songs. And probably the best culprit is one of the newer ones. Like this guy's getting lazier because he's turning these out like on a weekly basis, it seems like lately. Right. So I think 2025. If I had the translations, this would be easier. I didn't think of having them with me. 2025, 2025. Well, I'm just gonna have to go with one of these. Let's see how lazy it sounds. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit probably. Not much change there. Oh, it works as new age, I guess. No, like background music. And the odd and interesting thing also is that since these are 26 minutes long exactly, 3 of them fit on a CD perfectly. I wonder if that's by design. Right, so it's got me curious. That one has no vocals. Most of them don't have vocals, but lately there've been. That's what I was trying to hit. I was trying to hit one that had vocals, but it just seemed like he was taking somebody's song and just stretching it out. But I'm not sure. Not sure. But if anybody knows, let me know. Dream Research Center. What are they doing? Okay, now this one I know a lot more about. Armored Manticore. This is an offshoot of another artist called Old Moth Dreams. And Old Moth Dreams I like because it's always Halloween flavored. I was born on Halloween, so of course I dig it. But this is an offshoot called Armored Manticore. And this one is it's harder. And the best way to demonstrate that is just pick one up. Like we have one here called Bloody Claws and a Full Belly. All right, let's see what that is. That caught my eye. Well, there's still a little bit of Halloween in there, right? But it's harder. I have to admit, I still like it. I guess that's the Halloween in me that still likes it. So I don't know if we'll ever see another album by Armored Manticore or not. Maybe it's just an offshoot. Old Moth Dreams is definitely, if you like Halloween, you'll like Old Moth Dreams. All right. Uh, how about something with a quirky name? Giraffes, giraffes. That's a question and an exclamation. Giraffes, giraffes. And what have I got? I've got 4 albums. The oldest one's from 2005, 2007, 2011, and 2018. Uh, let's see, I should have information on these guys, but I think it's in my new book. Okay. Yeah. This says Post rock. Oh, I didn't take two. No, no. Alt rock, alt rock. Okay, so I think this one might have some singing in it. There's only one way to be sure. Play a track. How about the hug of death? That sounds pleasant. Wow.
Where are they from?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I was going to do this today, to be
Oh,
honest. Usually I'm more prepared, but uh, I would look them up real
good.
quick.
Wow. Kind of
That
progressive
reminded me of
alt rock progressive.
yeah, it reminded me of what's the name of that band? Okay, I gotta look up the right one. Okay, Giraffes. Even Google's gonna revolt against this. Giraffes band. Oh, it comes up. Okay. Uh, they even have one song title, A Quick One While She's Away. Isn't that a Who song title? Is that a remake of that song? I gotta check that out. Um, they're called, it says math rock. They're from
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, but great musicianship and uh, what's that? I always get throwing what? What's that band? It's a name that I always get twisted because there's these two bands that have similar names. Uh, Throbbing Gristle is not the one; it's the other one, but I can't think of it. Anyway, so basically, it fits into that category of the music that's kind of busy, right? Like Battles. I talked about them in a previous episode. But this one, yeah, got some prog feeling inside it even. There's a lot going on. All right. I'm gonna finish off with one I definitely know much more about. Eberhard. Ah, let's go to it to be able to pronounce it. All right, let's get it. There we go. Here we are. Eberhard Schoener. He's from Germany. And this is a very interesting case. He's a very interesting case because he's been making music for decades. The album that turned me on to him was called Spurenschirung from 1983. It was considered avant-garde because it does combine some elements that are unexpected. Like here it says krautrock, and it really is much more than that. I mean, there's some of that in there, but there's much more than that going on. Yeah, so I got one, two, well, the oldest one's from 77, and the newest one looks like 91. I also recall that a couple of these albums would qualify as new age, like Sky Music is really pleasant. Two songs, 20 minutes each, very pleasant. And the same thing with Meditation 1 and 2, that these would qualify as new age. So maybe that's a later direction. So when they were younger, or he was younger, I should say, He was more adventurous. So I'll just start with the one I started with, and that's the hard to pronounce one. And the longer songs are really interesting. Sunday Morning in Manhattan, Twilight in Venice, and Real Zeit. They live up to their names, these song titles, not to mention Butterflies. So I'm going to go with Twilight in Venice to see if that's what we actually hear. I could do Sunday Morning in Manhattan too, but let's try Twilight in Venice. Just tuning up, huh? Yeah, it's got a bit of a new age flavor to it. Little touches of jazz. Yeah, I want to just do a snip of Sunday Morning in Manhattan and see if it's the same story. I first heard this 4 years ago and it wasn't available, so I forgot about it. I rediscovered it just recently. Okay, that was a little more to the side.
In his face, illusion, illusion. Sunday morning in Manhattan.
Yeah, this is
Sunshine, windy, serenity.
yeah, there's a few songs in every album, a little bit of vocals, except for the new age ones I mentioned. But it's just unusual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that album so much, and I enjoyed the others just as much. I was very pleasantly surprised. Transformation is the first album, and just the last one is Transmission. But you look on the albums, right? Because it's from Germany, it says France formation or trance with a CE, transmission. But here it doesn't have that. Like you look at the album tracks, falling in trance. Yeah, so maybe that's just the language thing. So those are just some unusual things. I had to share them because I liked them, and maybe you will too if you check them out. So that's fine music for today. Remember, we're a group on Facebook too, so always putting up discoveries there. There's a lot of new commercial albums coming out this time of year, right? For the Christmas push. You got the new Robert Plant, right? And my favorite band of the last 35 years, the Charlatans, has a new album coming out on my birthday, so I'm very jazzed about that. The Sparks have a new album coming out. Sounds like it's going to really be good. And just take an adventure on Facebook and you'll see. Okay, so See y'all next week. Ciao.